Hi, this is Miss Harris from the School Counseling Department at Calvert High School. We'd like to talk to you today about registration for the 2021-22 school year. In a very challenging last year and a half, it's kind of exciting to actually be talking about something that's going to talk about the future and hopefully when things get back to normal, what your classes will look like from this point forward. First, I'd like to introduce the counselors. Ms. St. Clair has students, whether in ninth grade all the way through 12, if your last name begins with an A through the letter E. Myself, Ms. Harris, has last names F through J. Ms. Ponte has last names K through Q. And Mr. Verlich has last names R through Z. My job on this video is to go over the graduation requirements, because the goal of everyone here is to get a Maryland high school diploma. So the state of Maryland lays out what things you have to complete and pass and get a credit for in order for them to award you that state diploma. You need 4 credits in English, 4 years of math. If you took math in middle school and by the time you're a junior or you're a senior, you've done 4 credits, you still need to take math every year. The state puts a lot of importance on not skipping years of math before going into work or going into college. So you have to have at least 4 math credits, but you have to take it each year as well. So if you're going beyond the 4, then those can be some of your elective credits you need. Social studies requires 3, U.S. history, then government, then world history. Science is a little bit more open to the choosing of the student. You need to take biology, and then after that, you can take any other 2 science credits. We have earth, physics, chemistry, environmental. We have AP courses in those subjects as well. So you can kind of tailor to what your future interest is or your aptitudes are. Then you need a fine art credit, 1 credit. An example of fine art would be art, which many of you maybe experienced that kind of thing coming through middle school. Could also be theater, guitar, orchestra, playing any instrument, photography, anything in the fine arts, chorus. You need 1 credit of a tech ed. The number of choices for tech ed are a little limited by the state. We have intro to computer science, intro to engineering. There's a second level of engineering that also counts principles of engineering. And we have foundations of tech. So any of those could get you your tech ed credit, but you need to take 1 of them before you graduate. You need 1/2 credit of PE and 1/2 credit of health. You could take PE multiple times if you enjoy PE, but you must take at least a half a year of it to get your high school diploma, and then a half a year of health. Financial literacy, you also need to take at least a half credit of that course. Then you need to have a pathway. And I think the state's thinking behind a pathway is we want you to be going through high school with the idea that you're preparing for your future. So they want students to choose courses that they feel will best prepare them for what they want to do after high school. Because high school's 4 quick years, just 4 years of your life, and your future is multiple years, and we want to make sure that students are prepared. If you want to go to a 4-year college, the 4-year colleges say you need foreign language. So if that's somebody's path after high school, you have to have at least 2 years of a foreign language. Currently, we run Spanish and sign language. Somebody else might have a different route. ROTC is a pathway. There are 4 credits that you must earn for that. The CTA, we're lucky, is like right in our back door. So students who want to go into cybersecurity, the medical field, welding, cosmetology, there's a lot of programs over there. And if you complete one of those, that will complete your pathway. We also have some in the building. So I'm going to kind of go over how that's broken down. So college prep is 2 years of a foreign language, which is inside Calvert High School. Other pathways we have sitting in Calvert High School's building is business, biomed, the agricultural program, computer science, criminal justice, engineering, ROTC. Maybe you want to be a teacher, Teacher Academy in Maryland. So you can start those. They generally start your 10th grade year. So make sure that you're not trying to sign up for a pathway you don't have enough years left in high school to complete. And then there are pathways, as I stated previously, that are housed at the CTA, and we're very fortunate that we're not missing a period to get there. You just walk out the back door of Calvert High School and into the CTA, and they have a variety of career paths to go. You kind of got to know yourself. You have to apply to the CTA as a junior, and then you're there for 2 years, your junior and senior year. And I know it's hard when you're a young person, but at least see if there's any career or direction you'd like to explore. And here's your chance to do so. If you change your mind, it's okay, but you need at least have to try one pathway to see if that's the direction you want to take your life. So to recap the graduation requirements, you have a course selection. You have to have those credits that I went over, which totals 23 and a half credits. So there are some that are just elective. I did mention probably about 3 of your choice. And it has to include a pathway. There is a service learning requirement. If you have been in Calvert County Public Schools most of your career in school, you probably got those credits, those learning hours as part of a class. What you can do is when you get your report card, it'll say on the bottom whether or not you have met your service learning requirements. If you have not, you can see myself, Miss Eris, and guidance, and we can brainstorm some ways for you to do that. It is service to the community, so you cannot earn those hours working for a business. So if your uncle owns a barbershop and you just go in there, even if you're not paid, it is a business and it can't count. So make sure before you embark in a whole bunch of hours that it's doing something that's going to meet the requirement. And then you need to pass any state assessments. Your teachers would be very clear in math and English and science as to what tests need to be passed in order to earn that state diploma, which is always our #1 goal.
If you're planning to attend a 4-year college, they're going to expect that you have at least 2 years of the same foreign language. They also expect you to challenge yourself, taking rigorous classes, AP and honors classes if you can. You also want to look at the specific college or program that you're intending to go to and their requirements. A lot of that information can be found on the College Board website or the actual college's website as well. A note about AP classes. AP courses are challenging. They are college level classes that you are taking in high school, and you have the potential to earn that college credit based on your scores on the end of year AP exams. You should expect to have at least 1 hour of homework each night per AP course. If you have questions about AP course requirements, talk to the teacher in that subject area. The more AP classes that you take, the more homework you're going to have. And there may be times where it's not so much of an hour every night. And then there may be other times where if you're taking 3 APs or more, that you have a lot going on at the same time. So make sure that you are considering how many AP courses you're also taking at once. We do have some new classes here being offered at Calvert High that you can sign up for and request. You may find out more information about these courses in our academic planning guide, which is virtually available on the website this year for Calvert County Public Schools for parents or for students. The new classes are History of the North American Indian, which is a half-credit history class, Sports and Society, which is again a half-credit history class, Improvisational Theater can be a half-credit or a whole credit, Advanced Guitar could be a half-credit or a whole credit, and we're also offering AP Art History, and those would be a fine art credit. There are also some changes to some courses along the way. NJROTC is now a pathway. That means you must complete levels 1 through 3 for it to count as a pathway and be considered for graduation. Business management and accounting pathways now only require 3 classes instead of 4. And you can see the academic planning guide for more information. Career research and development pathway is now only 3 credits instead of 4 as well. Again, you can look in the academic planning guide to find out more information about each of these changes. No longer offered at Calvert High School is the Academy of Finance pathway and the Principles of Finance, which is the year-long financial literacy course. We also do offer online courses. The online courses that are offered are AP Calculus 1, AP English Literature, AP English Language, AP Psychology, AP Statistics, Foundations of Technology, Music Appreciation, Health, and Financial Literacy. Not all of these classes are run every year. It depends on how many students sign up. If there is not enough interest to run a single section, they will not offer those classes. You may have to pay for an online course. If it's in addition to your full course load, which is 7 credits, or if you're taking it in the summer, you will need to pay for the class. When you put an online course in your course request, be sure to select the course number with an O after it, standing for online. So if you wanted to take online financial literacy, you would put the number 5230S, because it's a semester class, and then add the O at the end for the online. Again, we have those online classes in the summer, and during this summer, it looks like we will be offering Foundations of Technology, Music Appreciation, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, Financial Literacy, and Health. Each online class costs about $300. You need to contact your counselor for information on how to register, and seats are limited and they go quick, so please let your counselor know as soon as you know you're interested in taking a summer class. This is for seniors only, but to have early release next year, you must have transportation, reliable transportation to and from school, and your classes must be scheduled together. You have no free periods in the middle of your schedule. So even if you only have to take 3 or 4 classes next year and you want to have early release, depending on what classes you select and how much you want to take them, you may have to schedule an additional course so that you can take that class. You cannot have any holes in the middle of the day for your courses. Another option for 11th and 12th graders is dual enrollment. Calvert High students in 11th and 12th grade have the opportunity to take classes at CSM while still in high school. The registration to take classes deadline is for the fall is July 15th. CSM dual enrollment forms are available on the CSM website. If you go to CSM and search dual enrollment, you'll be able to find a link that has Calvert County's exact course load list that you may look at and take either at Calvert High or at CSM and receive dual enrollment for both places. If you have questions about this, speak to your counselor and you can get more information. We also have a career exploration program. Career exploration is a 50-hour 1-credit program that's completed during senior year. The application process opens in the spring for juniors. So juniors this year, if you're interested for next year, you need to start looking and applying. If you're selected into the program, you can start earning hours as soon as your placement is made. You are going to get an experience at a realistic view of business, learn from people that you see on the job and see if it's a career that you want to pursue, and gain insight on ways to get into your fields of interest. It's a flexible program to match your needs. You can work the 50 hours in one placement or shadow with a few different places to help narrow down your career path. To learn more, you're going to contact Ms. McGuffin, which her email is listed here below.
Hi guys, Miss Ponte here, and now that you have heard information about all of the different opportunities that you have available at Calvert High, I want to talk to you about the process of actually going through and picking out your classes, how you'll do that. So registration will officially begin at Calvert High School on Wednesday, February 24th. Don't worry, we'll remind you that day on the announcements. But basically, from February 24th on, you're going to have until March 5th to do two things. The first is to complete an online form that will list all of your courses and your alternates that you want to request for next year. So this will be the process instead of using a paper form this year. And the other thing that you'll need to do is you'll need to log on and enter your course requests on Hack, just like we did last year. And you guys all received a big document from us in your email today. So all of these directions, the links to get onto the forms, and even more information were sent to you today in your email address. So our hope is that you'll constantly refer back to that document and follow through and make sure that you're following all the instructions about registration day. Here's the thing, guys. We are relying on you to take this opportunity to pick out what courses you want to take next year. And if you choose not to do this and not to follow through and do those two things we asked, we'll pick courses for you. But we'd rather have you have the opportunity to pick out what classes you want to take. So please just make sure you do these two little things for us and take care of requesting your classes for next year. So some information about entering courses on Hack. In that registration handout that I talked about earlier, there are step-by-step instructions that will show you every step of the way what to do to enter your courses. And on that handout, there's also a link to a video that I, along with some counselors from the other high schools in the county, that we made that will walk you through entering your course requests on Hack. One important thing to remember is when you're logged into Hack, you must be logged in under your student account. It won't show up if you log in under your parent's account. So make sure you're using your student username and password to get into Hack. Another thing to remember is you need to be sure that what you put on Hack, the courses you request on there, match the same courses that you're requesting on your online registration form. Because if they don't match, we're going to make sure that they match what you entered on the registration form. So just double check and make sure that they are matching. One other thing to remember too is that your teachers are going to be making recommendations for you on courses for next year ahead of time before you log in and do your request. So if you happen to log in and let's say a teacher recommends you for the next level of a pathway course or something that you don't want to take next year, that's okay. All you need to do is make sure that you remove that course and replace it with something that you want to take. So just make sure that you're only requesting 7 periods of classes for next year when it comes to Hack and on your registration form. If you need help, because we know this process can be really overwhelming, so if you have questions or you need help about entering your courses on Hack, or if you want to talk to see if things are going to be able to fit in before you graduate, or anything like that, if you need anything, your counselors are going to be here to help you. So from Wednesday, February 24th until Friday, March 5th, we are going to be available on Teams every day during lunch, and we'll be there to answer any questions that you have. Now, the link for that meeting is included in the registration handout that you got today. So again, that registration handout is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know about registration. And if you do have additional questions or you just want to talk to us over email, you can email us, you can call us, or you can use our links to make appointments to meet with us one-on-one at a time that's not lunch, if that's more convenient for you. But we are here to help, so I don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed because although we're virtual, we are still here to help you guys. We want to make sure we answer all of your questions.
Hi, Mr. Verlich here, and I'm the counselor for students' last names R through Z. Now I'd like to go over some more information related to registration with you. Next up is the CTA, or Career and Technology Academy. If you are a rising 11th grader, that means a student who is currently in 10th grade, and you'd like to attend the CTA next year, the first important thing you must do is complete the CTA enrollment form. It's located online. It's in the handout you were emailed. It's also available on the Counselor Schoology page, but it must be completed if you plan on attending the CTA. No ifs or buts about it. It is required and spaces are filling up, so make sure you do that by the 26th of February. Another important event related to the CTA is their open house night on February 24th at 6:30. This is a great chance for you and your parents to see the programs firsthand, so make sure to log on and see the open house event. Next, going on to the registration calendar. Registration begins on February 24th, and this year that's going to look a little different than in past years. This year we won't have the colored registration sheets that you are usually used to, but it's going to require you to do a couple of things to get registered. These were all reviewed earlier in the presentation, but I'm going to go over them again right now. First of all, you're going to have to complete the online form that asks you about what classes and alternates you're interested in taking for next year. That's the first piece you need to do. And that's sort of going to take the place of those colored registration sheets for us, because it's going to tell us what classes you're going to sign up to take. That way we have a record of that to refer back to. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you make sure to enter your courses into HACC. All of this is supposed to take place starting on February 24th. Next up is the priority deadline for the CTA enrollment forms. That is on February 26th, so make sure you get those forms in by February 26th. And then thirdly, counselors will be available to help you. And I know this is probably going to be a little bit different this year, so we want to make sure that we are out there and available for you. At lunchtime from February 24th, which is the first day of registration, through the last day, March 5th, will be available at lunchtime. So email us if you'd like to meet with us, and we'll set up a Teams meeting for you. And finally, the deadline to get everything into HACC and submit your online registration form is March 5th. If you have any questions, contact your counselor ASAP. We want to help make sure this is a positive experience for you, and also that you get into the courses not just that you need, but that you want to be in for next year. So let us know if you have any questions.